Well, my Scrooge McDuck Lego I got for my birthday is falling apart.
Well, happy belated birthday.
Thanks.
Welcome to
I also got Doctor Strange pins.
Oh,
That's
nice.
more on brand.
Who? Yeah, there you go. Who do we have there?
We have Doctor Strange.
Good start.
Like for some reason, like a picture of America Chavez as opposed to like the Cloisonne version. Wong, Mordo, Scarlet Witch, and the horse guy. I'm sure has
Nice. Rintra, I think.
Yeah. He's holding a Aladdin's lamp for whatever reason.
Introducing the genie into that movie would have been a lot of fun.
Yeah. I also got
welcome to Marvel Time issue number 90. Nice. I can't wait for Rescue Rangers. I'm excited.
It is. I'm not allowed to say it, but talk to me tomorrow.
Yeah, we're going to talk about some comics, some Marvel news. I can't believe this is issue number 90. This is wild. We're coming up on 100 pretty soon.
Yep. And then we'll revert to a new number 1 until it's time to.
Yep. All right, so let's jump into our comics. I messaged you yesterday and said, really good lineup of comics this week. I think we were a little bit down after last week's lineup, but I think this week they redeemed themselves. We had a pretty strong lineup.
Yeah, we only did 4.
Yeah.
For reasons, but because there weren't that many, and we try and keep it Marvel branded. We don't do like the super violent stuff. And then there was a Miles Morales What If number 3 that just seemed like we'd be getting in the middle of something that we didn't.
Right. But yeah, we do have quality over quantity here this week. I think I liked all 4 of them, and we're going to start off with Captain America: Symbol of Truth number 1. A few weeks back, we did the Captain America number 0 issue, where it was sort of branching off into these 2 stories, the Steve Rogers story, the Sam Wilson story. And we have our number 1 for Sam Wilson here. What did you think?
First of all, I like his shield. I don't know, maybe this is just new to me, but like the falcon wings in the star of the shield.
Yeah,
cool.
That is cool.
I like this a lot. I like this. It feels like a Captain America story. I mean, and I hate to say, like, sometimes you get into Cap and it can either go a couple ways. It can go kind of preachy, which I don't like. It can go, I mean, it's one thing Captain America is inherently a little preachy, but like, it's one thing when he's saying it. It's another thing when the comic book is saying it. And there's a subtle difference.
Mm-hmm.
It could also go like just completely off the rails into just a regular comic book that takes place in weird dimensions and stuff that has nothing to do with informing Captain America. And this felt like a Captain America story in that it's modern and, Misty Knight's there. It's definitely a Sam Wilson book. It's not a Steve Rogers book, but it felt like it was Sam Wilson as Captain America, not Sam Wilson Falcon wearing Captain America's clothes.
Yeah. Yeah, you're absolutely right about that. It's a really good Sam Wilson story, I think, in on top of being a Captain America story. Mm-hmm. They get very personal with him, and there's a lot on the relationship with him and Misty Knight, which is interesting, and I would like to see more of going forward. I also really like the inclusion and the importance of Joaquin Torres here, because that's a character that I think a lot of people want to know more about after Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and we might see more of him in the MCU. So good time for people to read about this character and get to know him a little bit better. And he's heavily featured in this first issue.
Yeah, this comic definitely comes across as like, you saw Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
Now here's a book, because it has all the things from that show in this book,
right?
Which isn't a bad thing, but like sometimes we read a comic that is kind of after a movie, and it's just not the same story.
Right.
And I think it's not necessarily as accessible. Not that it should be. I mean, the comics have 80 years of baggage that they need to deal with. But yeah, I guess.
Yeah, they do set up an interesting little angle for Torres going forward as well. So I'm interested to see that. A lot of action. It's a very action-heavy comic. It's really like Cap and Torres, so Cap and Falcon really on a mission right off the bat. We do get a flashback of a few pages with, like I said, Sam and Misty and explaining that relationship. But then it's right back into the punches and shield throws and explosions. So if you like action-heavy comics, this is definitely one you will enjoy. And I'm interested to see where they're going with these villains too, because there's an interesting combination of villains here. And I think villain is kind of used loosely, so we'll see where that goes. But yeah, I like this. I think this is a good start to this new series. Our next issue is going to be X-Men number 11. This is typically where we would groan and, complain a little bit, but I enjoyed this one. I like getting, I think just the fact that it's an X-Men title, it's not, Ways of X or, any of those other different adjacent stories. But I think getting back to somewhat basics is still a pretty weird story, but easy to follow, familiar, likable characters. I thought they did a really good job with this one.
Yeah, and I mean, it still has the Krakoa stuff. I mean, and that's fine. I mean, that's where they're at. But it definitely is a team on a mission trying to do something. And
yeah,
I can follow that. It's not getting into it, and it's not everybody. It focuses on these characters. Not, maybe a little bit more than what you see here. There's kind of two things going on at the same time, which can sometimes throw off a comic, but this one is pretty, it goes back and forth, but it doesn't confuse you in that way. So yeah, I was really surprised at how much I enjoyed this issue.
Yeah, this is the first one in a while, as far as mutant related books go, that I read this one and I asked myself, I wonder if more of this series is available on Marvel Unlimited right now, because this makes me want to read more of this X-Men series. And that's not often the case with these X books. So I really like that. Plus, anytime we get Mojo, I'm going to be a little bit interested to see more of him. So, and he doesn't have a huge role in this, but pretty cool.
All his roles are huge.
Well done. I like it. And again, yeah, just the just the lineup of characters you can see on the cover here. Jean Grey front and center. That's always going to make for an interesting.
And Jean Grey being not like boring.
Yeah, yeah. We're so
obviously when she gets the Phoenix, she's not boring, but like this is Jean Grey, just in her own, doing her thing, not being Professor X's lackey.
Right. Yeah, we're so used to seeing her being, not confident at all. And especially in the early X-Men books, she was sort of the damsel in distress so often. And now here she is at like the peak of her powers and this super confident, awesome hero. And it's really cool to see. As for our next issue, we have Shang Chi number 12. Kind of wrapping up the story that we've been somewhat in and out of throughout its run. But then also leaving the door open for an interesting angle going forward. What did you think of this issue?
I liked it. We've been, as you said, we've been in and out of it, but we've been able to follow it.
Yeah.
And, it brings the 10 rings in, for those that saw the movie, it brings in these 10 rings, not, Mandarin's 10 rings. I was surprised, it's one of those, like, it's the final issue, but there's another comic coming on the heels of it that will continue the story, presumably. So it kind of wraps up, but also continues. So I enjoyed it.
Yeah, totally agree. Like you said, we were able to follow it despite missing a few spots, because it was a fairly simple story, and having a little bit of background with Shang-Chi and knowing his complicated family history, that helped a little bit. But yeah, I really like this. I thought the finale of the story moved a little bit quickly, but that might have been for the best, given that it was action heavy and a lot of that trademark Shang-Chi fighting style that we get to see here. And then the 10 rings are just awesome to see in the comics as well. Like, they were really cool in the movie. So I'm glad that they've adapted this going in the opposite direction here. But yeah, I'm interested to see this new Shang-Chi story, as the 10 rings will be a much bigger part of his story going forward. So could be Could be a fun new series. Let's get into our final issue here, and I think we are on the same page with this one. Hulk versus Thor, Banner of War, Part 1. This is the Alpha issue. Pick of the week?
Yep. Kind of has to be, but
yeah. I've gone on record several times saying Donny Cates is my favorite writer right now, and this piles on to that. So I'm curious to get your thoughts. This was weird, but it was incredibly fun.
Yeah, I didn't think I was gonna like. When I heard it, I was like, I'm gonna admit, I did not like the start of this Hulk run.
Yeah,
I thought it was a little too weird, a little too angsty, even for the Hulk. It was just like, it just didn't float for me. But I really liked this issue and where the story's headed. And because I think sometimes you hear Hulk versus Thor, like, okay, here we go again. But it's done differently this time. The art is fantastic.
Yes.
Yeah, I was surprised. I mean, sometimes I go into something and I go like, okay, this is probably gonna be my pick of the week, and this one came out of nowhere for me.
Yeah, this was definitely on my radar as pick of the week, but I thought maybe between this or Captain America, X-Men, I didn't expect to get into the mix either. But yeah, this one really blew me away. I liked it way more than I thought I would. Like you said, the art, Martin Cocola, I believe, is the artist on this. Some really, really awesome panels, video game stuff thrown in there, which was really cool. There are epic moments in this first issue where I was like, oh, wow, that's not what I saw coming there. And, got you. Anytime you get a big reaction like that out of a comic book, that's how you know you're really into what you're reading, and it's a really great story. So absolutely loved this one. Can't wait to see where it goes. We have to talk about Saccharine, I think is what it is. This new cartoonish planet where things smell like cotton candy and puppy paws, but also the citizens pluck out the eyes of their young and sacrifice them to the pain god.
Right.
That was both hilarious and nightmarish, which was right up.
Luckily, it wasn't depicted.
Right. Yeah, if you can picture the show Adventure Time, I think that is what this universe or this world looks like. But it's so also dark and scary and so perfect. I hope we get more of that in comics, and I would love to see the multiverse jump to Saccharine very very briefly in the MCU. I think that would be awesome. Okay, let's move on to.
And not to interrupt you, but I do want, since we have the benefit of being late this week, I'm going to let everyone know what the comics we're reading next week, so perhaps they can join along and guess what our pick of the weeks will be next week. We got Savage Avengers #1, The Marvels #10, Thor #25, Fantastic Four #43, and Eternals #12.
Ooh, I am interested in Eternals getting into Judgment Day. See where that goes. Also, Fantastic Four. I've been, just waiting on more Reckoning War stuff. So, yeah, excited for those two for sure. All right, let's jump into our news. We don't have anything else. There was no other Marvel content. Last week we had Moon Knight and Doctor Strange and, you didn't get a chance to talk about Cosmic Rewind since you got a chance to actually experience it.
Yes, I loved it. I thought it was amazing. I thought it was so much fun. I want to do it again, but did not have the opportunity like some people on our team did to write it like 47 times. But I will soon. Whenever I'm back in Florida, I will write it again. And soon I will write it so much, and then I'll get to the point where I'm like, yeah, I'm good. But no, I thought it was spectacular. I don't know what other, it's just the pre-show experience is amazing. I mean, from entering the queue to all of that, then the ride is, it's not like Rise of the Resistance where it's like, whoa, I can't believe all that. Like it just executed well. So it's not like surprising. It's just a lot of fun. And I enjoyed all of it.
I think fun is probably the best word for it. It's just such a fun attraction. What song did you get?
I don't remember, honestly. Alex said, "Oh, we had Hit Me With Your Best Shot," and I was like, "No, that's what we had last time we did Mission Breakout. That's not one of the options." So it was not conga. I would remember that.
Okay.
So I mean, I wish I could be able to tell you. I just can't.
Well, we'll have to find out what song you get next time then and keep track of that. But,
yeah.
All right, let's jump into our news, and we're going to start off with some unfortunate news in my book, at least, and that is that MODOK has been canceled. The Hulu stop motion animation series not getting a season 2. I didn't expect it to, if I'm being honest. I really, really love the show, and now I want to go back and watch it again. But it always kind of felt weird that we were getting Marvel content on Hulu and going in a different direction there. So I didn't really think this was, too surprising.
Yeah, I didn't either. I don't know. I think that was more of like an official thing. I don't think anyone even was like, "Oh, what?" Like, I think it was just, they contractually had to give an answer by this time or something.
Yeah,
we hadn't heard anything. I like the show, and I don't mean any negativity toward it at all. But I think we just kind of knew that it was, it was created by the prior regime. It just wasn't really going to happen.
Yeah, and I would imagine this means Hitmonkey is the news of that being canceled will be coming soon as well. Again, unfortunately, I also really enjoyed that series, but we'll see. We have plenty of other Marvel content on the slate, so not like we're really missing out here too much. And Patton Oswalt is doing just fine. He's popped up in the MCU these days, so
he still got the Goldbergs that got renewed.
Nope, there you go. In the actual MCU, we had news that James Gunn let us know that filming has wrapped on Guardians Volume 3. Shared a nice picture of the cast there. Can't wait. I can't wait for it's one again. We talk about this all the time. Like, there's just so much coming up. Like, I don't want to look past Miss Marvel or Thor: Love and Thunder, but Guardians 3 I'm really excited about it. Adam Warlock, Will Poulter, not in this picture here, but the main cast altogether. Let's see what else we have. Speaking of Cosmic Rewind, I did take the time to translate Xandarian for you. So there's a whole lot of it throughout the queue and after the attraction. And if you want to know what these signs say, for example, now entering Epcot as you are leaving the wonders of Xandar Pavilion, you can check out the full post on laughingplaces.com. Are
you at the point where like Mike, where you can just like, you don't even need to like think, you just see it and you know what it says?
Not quite. Mike has been reading and writing Arabesh for much longer than I have Xandarian, but I can recognize some of these symbols. It takes me a little while. It's like kind of like playing Wordle. I'm piecing together words as I recognize specific letters. But yeah, so again, you can check out the full post on Laughing Place. I translated just about everything. I didn't go through the time of translating like the codes that are just letters. There's no actual words because that's not helpful to anyone. So unless there's some sort of code there that can be cracked. But that was not something I was going to tackle in that moment.
Fair enough.
Other Disney park news. We had the reveal of the Avengers Campus costumes for Disneyland Paris, and I want that web jacket.
Yeah, it was funny because some of them look exactly the same and some of them don't. And I'm sure there's reasons. But I guess it's kind of weird because I feel like Avengers Campus just opened here and we're still kind of like digesting it. I mean, it's been a year, but whatever. But I'm excited that, our friends in Europe, and then there's still things that are going to be there that aren't here. So right now I just want an opening date.
Yeah. I would have thought we would have that by now, considering summer is like 2 weeks away. But I guess pretty soon we'll know. But yeah, again, that web jacket. Disney, start selling that.
Yeah, sell your costumes. That's a good idea.
maybe a slight variation of it. Then again, I live in Florida. I don't need any more jackets. Advanced tickets. Right, exactly. Advanced tickets are available now for the Beyond Amazing Spider-Man the Exhibition. That is coming to the San Diego Comic-Con Museum on July 1st. San Diego Comic-Con right around the corner, and that is like so lost on me right now. But yeah, this seems really cool. You get a chance to, check out some interactive Spider-Man exhibits, some, priceless Marvel artifacts, which I'm really curious as to what falls under that category and what they might have on display in this exhibit. But so yeah, you can check out this exhibition coming to the museum, celebrating 60 years of Spider-Man.
And we'll have full coverage, all that, all that stuff.
Of course. Miss Marvel, again, right around the corner, coming to Disney Plus on June 8th, is also going to be coming with a special screening to the Paley Center in New York on June 9th, screening of the show, as well as Q&A with some of the cast and crew, including Miss Marvel herself, Iman Vellani. So fun experience there for Marvel fans. I am looking forward to this as sort of a palate cleanser after Moon Knight and Multiverse of Madness. This is such a different tone to this show. So definitely looking forward to getting more into sort of the fun side. Not that those projects weren't fun. They were just also a little bit dark.
What?
Speaking of San Diego Comic-Con, we did see that pre-orders are available for these San Diego Comic-Con exclusive statues. A Spider-Man statue here. And these are available for pre-order on Entertainment Earth right now. This Throg and Alligator Loki is so awesome. I love the sound effect, word bubble on there. And then we've got the Phoenix as well, which is another really, really cool piece. So you can pre-order all of these now. I am not entirely sure how they are San Diego Comic-Con exclusives, if you can pre-order them, but whatever.
Yeah, it's best not, I think.
And then we'll wrap things up with some comic book news here. Again, the 60th anniversary of Spider-Man this year. Marvel Comics will be celebrating with Amazing Fantasy number 1000. And that is going to be bringing all kinds of, we talked about one of the Thor number 750 recently, and how they bring together all these super teams. Neil Gaiman, Dan Slott, Jonathan Hickman, John Romita Jr., a whole lot of iconic Spider-Man, and actually just Marvel Comics writers and creators in general, all getting together for Amazing Fantasy number 1000. This is one of those that I'm like, I might run out to my local comic shop and pick up. More comic news. Venom number 10 will be kicking off a story arc for Venom called Venom World. And then Venom number 11.
The most magical world. Not to be confused with the happiest Venom.
Right. I feel like there was a subtle shot at somebody there. Sleeper will be taking on the Sleeper symbiote will be taking on a new host in Venom number 11, the second part of Venom World. So you can get a look at the character here. No longer a cat, definitely a very different version of Sleeper here. I'm very curious about the bottles and the whatever formulas are being fed into him. Sort of Bane-like almost. Interested to see what's going on with Sleeper and what's happening just with Venom and Venom World in general. We also learned about the Edge of the Spiderverse event coming up. And this is going to be a new... Hey, the last Clone Saga, I think we enjoyed more than we expected. So We'll see. Giving the benefit of the doubt here. We are going to get some new Spider characters, which not necessarily something I think we need, but we are also going to hear from.
Because I was just thinking, we don't have enough Spider people.
We're going to hear also from some classic favorites like Aranya, Spider-Man Noir, Spider-Gwen, and Spider-Man India. I do love the art here. This is an awesome cover. There are also looks at some of the new Spider characters that will be popping up. You can check out the character sheets from Mark Bagley on laughingplace.com right now.
Spider-Ham? Forget Spider-Ham?
They didn't specifically mention Spider-Ham, but I would imagine he's going to have a role to play in this if you're going to get a whole Edge of the Spider-Verse story arc. Probably going to get all of the Spider characters in one way or another. We also, by the way, that will be coming in August. We also got some information about the Marvel's Voices Pride that will be coming in August as well. No, I'm sorry, June 22nd for Marvel's Voices Pride. We're going to be meeting a new character called Escapade. And I love when we get a new character with a really interesting power set. So they describe this as Escapade is a transmutant who can instantaneously switch physical locations with another person or trade any specific physical or abstract attribute, such as possessions, organizational status, skills, superhuman powers, and even situations, which situations is incredibly vague. That could mean so many different things. But she has to be within 7 feet of this person, and the more complex the switch, the more likely there is for a mishap. I think this is such an interesting concept for a character and can open up some really cool story ideas. So I'm interested to meet Escapade in this upcoming comic, June 22nd.
An escapade. Who sings that?
You do, I think. That's
it's a song by Janet Jackson. Okay.
And finally, we have a new Infinity comic available on Marvel Unlimited, Patsy Walker. And going back to like really, really classic Marvel, this is Patsy Walker before she was, Hellcat, and a very different version of the character, really. This 4-part series follows Patsy and her rival, Heidi Wolf, as they enter a fierce competition to win a meet and greet with their favorite singer. Not your typical Marvel comic, but probably a lot of fun. I haven't gotten a chance to check it out just yet, but these Infinity comics are typically, quick, easy, lighthearted, fun reads. So probably something I'll check out in the near future. So yeah, that is it for our Marvel news for the week. And we will be, like you said, we have a short turnaround here. We'll be back on Wednesday with probably not a whole lot of Marvel news to talk about, given that, well, today is Sunday. We're only a few days out.
And we'll be back tomorrow for the movie club of Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, in the Multiverse of Madness, which I'm about to see again in like an hour.
Oh, nice. Okay, is that your second viewing?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah,
it's our company screening.
Okay. All right.
People don't need to know that, but that's what it
is. Well, it could change the audience reaction that you get. So, I don't know that I will see it again in theaters. I might wait for it to hit Disney Plus, but we'll see. I might be, bored on a Tuesday with a $5 ticket available or something.
I'm very curious as to when it will show up on Disney Plus because I think they negotiated a 45-day window, which would basically be in the middle of June. Mm-hmm. However, Ms. Marvel debuts June 9th. So will they wait for Ms. Marvel to finish its run and then, maybe give it a little bit more time in theaters? Or are they just going to go exactly at 45 days and whatever that ends up being is what it ends up being?
Yeah, that's a good point. I'm interested to see that. There's so many just different situations that we've never had to watch Disney or any company deal with, now with the way things are working. So it's really interesting time to watch and see how they navigate this sort of stuff. Anyway, let's wrap things up how we usually like to. What have you been reading on Marvel Unlimited?
House of M for reasons.
Yeah, well, that's funny because I have been reading Secret Wars for reasons. Yeah, the 2015 Secret Wars specifically, not the original.
Yeah, not the black suit is Venom.
Yeah. No, yeah, the 2015 Jonathan Hickman Secret Wars, which is really, really great. Highly recommend it. A lot of cool stuff in there, especially if you're a Doctor Doom fan. Lots of really cool Doctor Doom stuff in this one. So yeah, that's going to do it for issue number 90 of Marvel Time. Thank you everyone for joining us. Anything else before we wrap things up, Ben?
Let me tell you what's happening. Let's see here. Today is the 15th. So, well, I will tell you that Rescue Rangers is coming out on Friday. Therefore, the social embargo will release at some time. So, therefore, you can see our reaction to Rescue Rangers. And it will tell you poor Tony is spending about 4 days of his life doing the Easter egg article because it's a lot. Also, for our journalist friends, FX has launched Crash Course, so we'll have an embargo on that, as well as a new freeform documentary series called The Deep End. I mentioned the Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. Tomorrow actually happens to be National Drawing Day, so we'll probably have some stuff surrounding around that. Then one of our team members has already seen the Bob's Burger movie, so we'll have stuff with that. Rebecca has her Disney Vacation Insight show at 1. We got Barely Necessities on Tuesday at 4. Disney Trivia Live, of course, on Tuesday at 7:30. We have another Tuesday also happens to be the upfront day, so expect some news on Disney broadcasting and stuff like that. There's an investor event happening at 11 o'clock on Wednesday. We'll have Marvel Time at a special time at 2 o'clock. And then we actually have some Obi-Wan news we expect to drop next week as well. So we got a lot. And then Friday is National Streaming Day. So it's going to be a lot.
Wow. You just listed off like 100 different things and not one of them was Marvel related. Could you see the weight lifting off of me and like going over to Tony and Mike and the rest of the team? That just...
Well, I'd like to point out to you Marvel Time is related.
Well, sure, Marvel Time. Okay, yes. We will have comics and the latest news to talk about, but no new content, nothing happening this week.
No, not yet. When is it next Wednesday that we have the making of Moon Knight?
Yes, they pushed it back a couple of weeks. I want to say is it the 25th? It's whatever that Wednesday is next week. So we will have that. New Zacks of Life tomorrow, breaking down Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness to go along with the movie club we'll be doing live. I also might try another thing tomorrow. Keep an eye on our YouTube channel. So,
and then you actually have a review coming up from ESPN.
Yes,
the greatest mixtape ever. I don't know when that review goes up, but it will be up at some point.
Yeah, I think we have some time for that one, but so
it doesn't air until the end of the month, so
right. Yeah, all the stuff that you just listed too. Lots of content that I'm excited for. The obviously Rescue Rangers hitting Disney Plus, but also the freeform documentary, The Deep End. I just happened to stumble across the. There you go. That's from The Deep End, right? That's the main character.
Yeah. This is my Deep End prop.
I just happened to stumble across the trailer for that, and that looks really, really interesting. So I'm excited.
Oh, great! Do you want to do the review?
I'd be happy to. Yeah. So again, we will be back on Wednesday. Short turnaround here, so you don't have to wait too long to see us again. All right. We will see everyone real soon.
Bye, everybody.